Hey, I'm Toyin. If you're new here, I'm the founder of the Academic Society. I recently got my PhD in math. I'm a lecturer at a university, and I also create these videos to help graduate students with all of the things that I learned when I was in grad school. I'm sharing it with you now. So, a while back, I hosted my very first program called the Productivity Accelerator. It's a productivity and accountability program for graduate students, and it lasts 2 weeks. Basically, it's like a boot camp for graduate students to like give you a more healthy relationship with productivity and not be on the two extremes of procrastination all the time and work so hard with no self-care. So coming somewhere in the middle with accountability. And during that program, I hosted a group coaching session. And that group coaching session went far better than I expected it to. So I wanted to share with you just a little clip of like what went down in the group coaching session, how I was able to help Mary and Catherine, and how it was so nice to just have a conversation. They were able to help each other. We were able to like learn more about each other. It was so awesome. So I'm just gonna go straight to the clip and let you watch. All right, so we got the due dates and deadlines, things we need. Let's go to the new thing, the daily planner. So this is what you'll do every single day. So starting tomorrow, Monday, you don't have to put the actual date. So you can say Monday, and then I will email you when the co-working sessions will be happening on Monday. And then just like have a brain dump. What do you want to get done on Monday? And then the prioritizing happens. So then you have to figure out, okay, what are the top 3 things? What are the 3 most important things that I should get done today? So that if you only get those three things done, you're like satisfied with what you worked on today. Because like sometimes a long to-do list can be like overwhelming and disappointing when you don't finish it. And we don't want disappointment because it's just a to-do list. So I think breaking it down to the top 3 tasks, that's something manageable and something that can give you a nice little win at the end of the day. Oh my gosh, I got these 3 things that I thought were really important and I've gotten those done. And then if you get those done early, you can like add on the other things on your big brain dump list. But I think I heard, I can't remember where it was from, but someone said if you have more than 3 to 5 things on a to-do list or a bulleted list or something like that, you're less likely to get anything done. Your productivity goes down. So having a super long to-do list is actually not necessarily helpful. But however, we do want to get all the stuff out of our brain so that we're not like trying to use up brain space to remember, okay, what else do I have to do today? Can't forget to do this thing as long as it's out of your brain. You don't have to think about it anymore. It's great. And so I will be checking in on you by the end of the day and ask how it went. So yeah, that's the new everyday plan. You guys have any questions about it or comments?
I think now that we're here, it's really forcing me to focus and like realistically determine. I feel realistically determine what I can get done, and I'm already thinking, okay, it's making me see the goals through the end of the week. So I'm thinking, okay, if I have to post this on Facebook, I gotta, I gotta make sure that it's thorough, but not like I gotta make it realistic.
Right. Exactly. What about you, Catherine?
Yeah, same. I really like how this is laid out. I think it'll be really helpful for kind of in the brain dump section, sort of getting everything out that I would want to do this week, or this day, but then, like you said, only choosing a few things, because realistically, everything that comes out of my head is not a priority, just by virtue of coming out of my brain. So, yeah, I think my biggest thing is just going to be figuring out when I have to be on campus and doing stuff for the conference, and then trying to see how many of those pockets of time do I actually have this week, and being able to make sure that my top 3s and my to-dos are aligned with that. So not saying, oh, I'm going to code all of my 500 tokens this week, because that just won't happen that week when I have so many other things going on. Yeah. So trying to keep it realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that. So Catherine has 2 conferences this week, and she's going to have some downtime while she's at the conference. So she has to figure out what to do with these small little pockets of time where it's like probably not enough time to like do anything really significant, but maybe she can like chisel away at some bigger task. My idea for her was in her like brain dump, pick out the things that could actually be done in a small little pocket of time. So something that's kind of like administrative or something that doesn't take a lot of brain power, so that in between sessions in the conference, she can do those things. And the reason why I wanted her to list them out is so that when she does have that time, she doesn't have to waste any time thinking about what to do. She already has the list. Like, okay, next thing on my little pocket of time to-do list, do this thing. Okay, what's next? It's already written down for her. And so she mentioned coding for some things in her research, right? She can code like 10 or 15 things in a little break and so yeah. Does anyone else have any thoughts or ideas?
Yeah, so sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I thought of this is personally, I'm not a mom, but I feel like moms are really good at using like the 10 extra minutes to do something. And I'm like, how do they just naturally like know how to utilize these little chunks of time? So I feel like, yeah, it's a necessity. I feel like I've been wanting to do more of that instead of maybe just spending those 10 minutes doing nothing. Like if that's what my brain really needs to like check out for 10 minutes, that's fine. But I know that this week, especially, like if I have 10 minutes to sit over here and work on some small tasks I've already thought up and have written down ready to go, I think that's going to make me feel like just because I do have events this week, things aren't going to stop moving forward. Like I can still keep my projects going on, even though other stuff's happening this week that doesn't usually happen.
Yes. And I also, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like if, like with this past week, when I wasn't really engaged in the program, it's felt like it was because when something unexpected happens, I had someone really unexpected need to stay at my place overnight. I had to take a day off of work and class, and then the rest of the week, I couldn't get back on track. I just felt like I was floating through the rest of the week. So I really want to start training myself and learning how to accommodate unexpected things or plan things that just take up more time than usual.
So the thing I thought about your conference and listing those little tasks that you can do in the pockets of time, it also informs you of what things you need to bring with you to the conference.
Right.
Like you got to have whatever you need to be coding, or you have to have this certain notebook, or maybe you say, on this day I want to do these little tasks, and on this day I want to do another set of little tasks, and maybe you need separate books for that. You don't have to bring all your books at once.
Like I need to bring my special like big headphones for my audio stuff than just my little crappy ones I usually carry. Like I don't usually bring these anywhere, but that's a good point. I hadn't even thought I need to take them out and would need to bring them.
Yeah.
They're just like in a drawer.
So I think that would be helpful. I didn't even think about that until you were talking. And then also when like the unexpected things happen, it definitely helps to, have your like weekly planning session and like brain dump everything. And so like when you're feeling like I don't really know what to do next, I'm like super thrown off, can you find that one action, that one thing that you can do for the day, or that one thing that will get you started? Like I feel like, not that you're a procrastinator or anything, but I always say the one thing that can stop you from procrastinating is taking some kind of action. So doing some small thing, and hopefully that can help you.
I know this sounds weird, but like I'm literally kind of blown away by the small task list, because it's like how I organize my stuff is like, okay, well, this is urgent and important and needs to be done like now, and versus this can be done at a later date. But I never really thought about, okay, and then I have like a whole bunch of little administrative things for work and for the groups that I'm in, but I just have them on my to-do list, but I never really like, I feel like by breaking them down and organizing them, you already know exactly what you need to do, and it makes sure it gets done. So, because if it's just on that general to-do list, like sometimes I get so overwhelmed by the things I need to do that it's like analysis paralysis for me. I'm like, I can't. Like, that's my favorite quote of grad school. Unfortunately, it's not my favorite, but it's like having those small tasks, like knowing exactly what you need to do, and just having it like maybe on a sticky note. I was thinking, and putting it on like because if I go on my phone on my like Trello app, I know if I'm overwhelmed, I'm on my phone, I'm gonna go to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like having a sticky note on my planner or something like that.
Yeah.
Or not my planner, this is my general notes book. So, and I use it all the time.
Or maybe like, I don't know how much, like on your laptop or something, just on right next to the keypad. Maybe like putting one right there. At least for me, I feel like I just do everything on my computer.
That's so true. Yes. Yeah, I like that. Because that way, like if it's on my notes thing and I take out my notebook, it's not gonna get lost.
Right.
Yes.
Toyin, I was wondering, so I know that a lot of people use that kind of like urgent, important matrix to organize tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that for my situation specifically, like nothing is urgent ever. Since I'm in such of an independent stage in the research, like if I didn't get anything done for the next decade, it would be fine. Life would keep going, and so I never have been able to like utilize that. And so I was wondering if you just have it, if you know of any other methods for kind of prioritizing tasks that doesn't rely on those factors necessarily, but still helps you sort it out. Because whenever I do that, I just end up with nothing really in the urgent and important task, and then I just have the same exact list in the not urgent but still important box, and so it doesn't really help me actually prioritize or sort anything out.
Yes. So I think possibly a backwards design may help. So if you think about what is your end result, maybe it's like 3 years down the line, maybe it's the end of the month. What is the main goal that you want to get done? Like finish your research, write a paper, present something. Like those are the big things that have to happen. And then what's the step right before that one? And then what's the step right before that? And what's the step right before that until you get to the starting point? And then you can figure out, okay, how many steps are there? Can I do one step per week or like one step per day? And so you have goals for each week, if that makes sense. So taking like looking at it holistically, what is the overall thing, breaking it up into chunks, and then placing your chunks in your schedule. So it's not necessarily that it's super urgent or important, but if I want to finish by a certain deadline, I have to stay on track.
So I can echo your frustration with that matrix. So I went to it's called Gatorwell. So University of Florida is gators, so it's not just like a random animal, but as well one can argue. But
I was like, you're in Florida, makes sense.
Yeah, actually, yeah, and gators crossing the road more times than I can count. But one of the things that like I went, and it's like a wellness center. It's not counseling, but it's like a wellness, like try to help students like manage their time, sleep, everything. And I went there, and they provided me with some resources in that like matrix. And my biggest problem is competing priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And so that like they're like, well, what's urgent and important? It's like everything,
right?
So so, and that was the biggest frustration for me. I mean, I think it's good to some extent. Like there's some things that are like obviously urgent, but then what happens is like the little things kind of start to slip away from me. And so like going in, and I like that like kind of backwards mapping.
Yeah,
I think I might use that because like those matrices really like they're a good place to start, but like I just get so overwhelmed by like not being able to decide, like especially if you're already at the point of overwhelm, it's hard to push through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe if you do find that multiple things are urgent, can you break up your day and focus each part of your day on each urgent thing? Like maybe, okay, morning, urgent task number 1, take a break. After lunch, urgent task number 2, take a break. And then nighttime or like evening after dinner, urgent task number 3. And maybe like the not so urgent things in between. Maybe if the other things don't take forever, like if you do feel like, oh my goodness, I have 3 things due tomorrow, you got to do them all. But you can't go. It's not good to multitask and like go switch your brain and go like back and forth, piece. It's good to just stay focused on one thing and then take a break and then focus on another thing. So if you can break it up so that you're not having to switch, but you can still do it all in the same day. Maybe that could be helpful. I don't know that it does seem very overwhelming. I'm not a night owl. I'm a morning person, so I can't think past 11 p.m. So I often am like, you know what? I'm done for the day. I'll just wake up at 5 a.m. and get it done. So sometimes things do have to wait till the next day.
Girl, I can't think past like 9 p.m.
Yeah. It's hard when it becomes nighttime. There's just like, I get loopy. It's hard.
Yeah.
All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that. And if you want to experience some of that, you should consider joining the Productivity Accelerator, my small group program for graduate students, and it lasts 2 weeks. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description of this video, and you can sign up to be on the wait list to be one of the first people to hear about when I relaunch the program. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. And if you know of a graduate student who would enjoy this content, definitely share this video with them and share this channel with them. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.